said don't do crystal meth in the bathroom all night long.
That's my opinion!
He will never emotionally fulfill you.
Because I don't want to be a part of it.
Go to sleep! Go to sleep!
Close your legs to married men, trash box.
I'll tell you how I'm doing. Not well, bitch.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Welcome to Morally Corrupt, a show here on the Rigor Reality feed. I am Rachel Lindsay. You already hear it in my voice. You know what time it is. If you're no stranger to Morally Corrupt, or if you are, if you're new, I get sick from time to time. I move around a bit, or I go out, have a good time. Either way it goes, it's one or the other, one end of the spectrum. I'm sick or I had a good time. This time I'm sick, I'm losing my voice, but I didn't want to disappoint you guys and not have an episode here today. And today we have such a great guest, somebody who can truly help me out and pick me up as I'm down right now. None other than Ryan Bailey, the host of So Bad, It's Good, a daily podcast where he breaks down all things Bravo, pop culture, and entertainment. Ryan, you're going to be my savior today. I'm so happy to have you here.
I got you.
I'm Morally Corrupt.
I got
you.
Listen, this was supposed to be in person, and I got to tell you, I'm very disappointed because on my vision board, it was always I wanted to get sick by Rachel Lindsay, and I'm not going to have that opportunity. But my God, I'm so happy to be here. I'm such a huge fan of you and Morally Corrupt and The Ringer, so I will try to not upset your audience and give as much or as little as needed. But I'm just so dang excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. That just means we have to do it again. I have to make it up to you personally. I won't be sick, but I will podcast with you in person at Spotify, at The Ringer.
I think Orange County got you sick. I think this season of Orange County got you sick from trying to decipher whatever the hell is going on this season. That potentially could do it.
It's so confusing that I can't even talk about it anymore.
No, and I get a headache every time I try to think about the meta aspect of behind the scenes, where I'll start thinking about, well, if Gretchen did this and Kiki did this, and then my head starts hurting, and I'm like, aren't we supposed to just go by what these ladies have going on in their actual lives?
Yes.
And not the 360 viewing experience that Bravo's turned into?
The producing, the trying to, talking to outside people, anticipating what you think is going to happen rather than just being... It's driving us crazy. And I feel like the Bravo, I said this on the last podcast, I feel like Bravo knew it. And so they were like, let's give them a mid-season trailer so they know that there's more to come because we have had enough here.
Yeah, I want the producers at some point just tell me how you want me to feel. Just tell me.
Yeah.
And tell me who's lying. I'm okay with this if by the end there's some referee that comes out and goes, Katie was lying. She definitely said that to Kiki. If they had that, I would almost feel more comfortable. But they're going to leave it as some kind of murder mystery involving social media that half of the audience just does not give a rip about. And, just if you think about the earlier seasons of any Housewives shows, when it really was based around these ladies and their families and these ladies and each other. And now it's about these ladies and social media and these ladies and trying to stay on the show.
Yeah, no, we're doing too much. We got to get back to the basics. I almost feel like we should get homework from Bravo. Bravo should say, you know what, guys, because everybody's upset that we're not getting enough Bravo right now, self-included. And it's like Housewives, it's only because, I don't do Below Deck and all the other shows. So it's like Thursdays is our day. That's it. And we're starving the rest of the time. I feel like Bravo should come out and make an announcement and said, look, we've heard you guys. It's time for a reset. What we're going to do is go back to the basics. We're going to take you to the beginning. And I know that they do show reruns, but just announce and say, we're going day one OC.
Oh my God, Rachel, you nailed it on the head because I always want to have, they have such a deep catalog. And I was talking to your producer before this, and she was diving into earlier seasons of Atlanta. And there is such a history that so many people aren't even aware of. And we need to do the history of Bravo, where we take you through some of the biggest moments, or just we'll start from the beginning. And there's a little bumper or in between of this is why this is important. And this is how it plays into what you're seeing currently on season 19 of OC. And I think, open the school. We got to open the schools, the education of Bravo. But there's such an exciting catalog that they have that really goes unnoticed, except for so many people that'll be like, I'll turn on Peacock and I'll just play New York and it's my comfort show.
Right. I think we're onto something, and I hope somebody is listening. And if not, I'll make sure that at BravoCon, we're talking to the right people about this, because I'm a big Dallas Cowboys fan. And I don't know if you've seen the Netflix documentary about the Cowboys. It's phenomenal. And I walked into 2025 and I said, I am not talking about the Cowboys this year. We're 30 years this year. It's an anniversary we did not want since we've been to the Super Bowl, been to the NFC Championship. And I'm like, I'm tired. I've had enough. I'm boycotting. I refuse to talk about the Cowboys. And then I watched the documentary. And I said, I remember being 7 years old, falling in love with the Cowboys, watching them win their first Super Bowl. It made me feel like we were back in the 90s. I remembered all the reasons why I fell in love. And it's beautiful. And I'm back. And I'm even delusional saying, this is our year. When I know it's not. That's what needs to happen.
Oh my God, exactly. Like me and you, we can make fun of Bravo or we can talk about how the shows are potentially failing us. But if somebody outside, they start talking about how much they hate Bravo, but they're not a Bravo fan, I don't want to hear it. Like I want these things to be celebrated, and that's why I do love things like BravoCon. But hey, I want a 3-part HBO Max documentary about Andy Cohen and his baby shower. Like I want to go into that day when every Bravo celebrity and John Mayer was there. I mean, we've got to celebrate these moments. We've got to be reminded of why we love Bravo, and it's hard
100%.
in these days.
100%. And listen, I don't want to complain too much because we do have great things to talk about, but I think it's something to know, right? And are you a Bravo fan if you don't have an insatiable appetite about these shows, about the content, about what's next? It's what being a fan is, right? And its truest form, a fanatic. So as we did all that, oh wait, I do want to ask you a couple of questions before we get into the news, because this is our news segment on Tuesdays. But in your opinion, okay, we're already talking about what's the worst of Bravo right now.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about what they could do better. But in your opinion, what is the worst Bravo thing that's so bad it's good?
So bad. Okay, the so bad it's good. And this is like, to me, and this is potentially going to be unpopular, is that I am loving / hating anytime we get into the meta of it all, like I spoke about earlier, about when they bring up a podcast, or all of a sudden, if they were like, that morally corrupt episode, I've got beef with Rachel Lindsay, like all of a sudden they pull me out of this story. And so we have it about that. Or even when Kiki was on OC a couple episodes ago, I don't want to see people like me on this show. Like, I don't want to be reminded of my life. And that is no shade towards Kiki, like no shade at all. But I want, so anytime I need there to be a moratorium on any sort of fights that revolve around podcasting, any fights that revolve around meme making, Reddit threads. I want to know what you have going on with each other and yourselves. And if you don't, maybe we need to start thinking about casting an actual friend group or people that have actual things going on in their lives, because it starts to feel like Seth Rogen's The Studio, but with Bravo. It's like all of this behind the scenes, so that to me is so bad it's good, because in one hand, I hate it, but in another hand, I think it's the funniest thing ever, where I'm like, we have become the content. We are eating each other alive, the meta of it all.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw it a little bit in Salt Lake City too. I agree with you. It's good and funny because it's not out of control and it's not a part of every single show on Bravo, but it has the potential to be, and that's the scary thing.
You nailed it. Like Salt Lake City, I was reminding my audience, had a similar storyline last season with Whitney and talking like Alibaba jewelry. I didn't get it there, and she was in a fight with a blogger or something. It was like a big mess. And they had those storylines as well. But I think the difference between Salt Lake and OC is that we're only entering our 6th season of Salt Lake, whereas OC is 19 seasons in. So there is a fatigue. Whereas Salt Lake, first off, those ladies are so character-based, and I don't even believe they exist in the real world, that you accept those storylines more with something new and in vogue. But OC, you have 19 seasons. You're pulling from Naked Wasted from season 4. That's 15 seasons ago. And to your point, half of the people didn't even watch the Naked Wasted episode, which they're fighting about this season.
Right. I know. I would have never, when I knew we were going to get Gretchen back, I thought that there would be beef between her and Tamara, but I never thought that we would be relitigating that iconic moment, that it was like, let it live where it did. The fact that we're talking about it again also kind of shows the staleness to me of that particular franchise.
If you look too much backwards, I mean, you can always appreciate the past, but if you are leaning too heavily on it, I don't think half those ladies even remember what was said or done, you know? And if you're going to do that, I always want episodes where sit down the whole cast and make them watch the episode over at Emily Simpson's. I want to get your reactions. If we're going to lean that heavily into it, let's be all on the same page about what we're seeing.
Yeah, because was Heather there during Naked Wasted?
Heather was not there.
So nobody was there except for Tamara and Gretchen.
You had Lynn Curtin was there. You had
Tamara.
That
did you grab your wrist when you said Lynn Curtin?
Because she was selling
That is hilarious. I know exactly
she was
the
selling
reference.
her amazing
That is hilarious.
Her amazing wrist jewelry too.
With the cross and stuff. Yes, the fact that you grabbed it is the funniest thing.
I went back and watched season 4, a couple episodes, and I was so shocked where it really, when you watch those earlier seasons, you're all like, is this an Oscar-nominated documentary? Because it reads completely different to the Michael Bay, you know, genre that we've entered with the flashiness and the quick cutting. And so then, like, I was watching a scene with Vicky Gunvalson and her mom drinking out of red Solo cups at just a family kickback, and nothing was happening. And I got to tell you, I was glued to the TV set.
Yeah.
But the Naked Wasted episode, it was like Lynn Curtin, you had Gretchen, you had Vicky Gunvalson and Don Gunvalson, shout out Don. And it was like a blast from the past. And Tamara's son, Ryan, who was over serving Gretchen in that scene. So it is a horrific, but it's not overly produced, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, totally agree. So, yeah, I forgot how we even got to, we were saying who was on Naked Wasted. Yeah, so the point is, to your point, nobody who's currently on the cast, except for the 2 people involved, were there. So it's even harder to have the conversation about that moment because none of these women were present for it. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
What right now is your favorite thing to talk about Bravo-wise?
Well, there's really not much to talk about. Like, I mean, like, what we like, OC, like, I'll be doing these supersized episodes because OC once a week is like, I'm digging into this and I'm digging into all the podcasts that everybody's going on. And is Scheana Shay involved in all of this, all this stuff? Like, there's all of that. And then obviously, like, I tried out the McBee dynasty and I thought I was going to hate it. I ended up actually liking it, but I liked it probably for different reasons than a lot of other people. We have, King's Court on Sunday night, Below Deck, which I do watch. So there's not a lot on Bravo. So it really is all of the happenings and the goings on, you know, like The Valley season 3 started filming last week. So we're already getting set photos and I'm already writing fan fiction in my mind because Jessie Lowry's girlfriend has agreed to appear. And then we're getting rumors that Jeremy Maddox has been added to the cast and that Lala's full-time, but Scheana isn't. Oh yeah. So there's like a deep rabbit hole that I go down.
Lala's full-time and not Scheana?
Wait, listen, take this with a grain of salt. Like, do not, I'm not saying this is Bible, but that's what I'm hearing. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But do you all this with the Scheana? But with the Scheana, do you, like, think about it. I really think that production must really not like Scheana because even in her book, she talked about 2 times where she was like reduced to a day player status and the audience didn't even know about it. And she started that show.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say it does make sense because of the book. I forgot to ask her this question. We just kept talking when I had her on the show and we were running out of time. But I was going to say, how do you think it's going to go with production for you to be on the show when you talked about being reduced to, what is it? A day player.
So she would show up and get like paid for the days that she was there. But Scheana was really smart and she just ended up being there every day because she got involved in the drama.
She knows how to do reality TV. But then she shit on them, production, talking about how they treated Brock and how they disrespect Brock. And then she told a lot of behind the scenes stuff in her book. So
on the season 9 thing, she said that it was pretty much fabricated, the finale, where all the girls got together and said, we got to really step up. And I hate stuff like that. I hate stuff like that.
And so it's like, I'm disappointed in that. I can only imagine how production is. Because like, yes, we know you put people in certain situations, but we don't want to feel like we can read through that or see through that as we're watching the show. She told a lot. And look, kudos for her. She's
New York Times bestseller.
3 times she corrected me. New York Times bestseller. So kudos for her.
3 times.
You got what you wanted. But at what cost? And so it wouldn't shock me if production moved forward with Lala and they didn't with Scheana because they can't trust what Scheana's going to say or do. Now, Scheana did say everything that she wrote in the book had to go through legal. So somebody at Bravo or 32 Flavors saw it. But still, I'd feel some kind of way if I was production, how to move forward with her.
I mean, Scheana also gives you this thing on a silver platter of, oh, we could talk about Brock's supposed infidelity that I talk about in the book for the first time on camera. So it's almost like setting production up to potentially make their job easier. Now, if they want to go on that ride or not. So I think what I had heard, she had a guaranteed like 4 episodes. I could be wrong. And by the way, Scheana always makes herself integral to whatever she is in. So she might get involved in the drama, and I might be completely talking out of my ass. This is just what I heard. But it's exciting to theorize on it. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how you make season 3 of The Valley less dark. And who will be the common villain? Will it be Jesse's girlfriend if she participates?
For sure.
Well, I mean, by the way, I think I was speculating maybe Kiki Monique's going to be on this season of The Valley because she's friends with Scheana, she's friends with Janet. Maybe OC was breaking Kiki in.
Of course she is. I would suspect it definitely the girlfriend. Jax won't be there. I think we'll see, but he will be present because I'm sure
he'll be referred to like Darth Vader.
Yes, text messages. Brittany's still got to live a life that's attached to him. We know that. The guys will still talk to them. I think it will be the girlfriend. If I had to guess, I could see maybe Lala coming in a little bit. She doesn't get along with Jesse. Maybe the girlfriend, that might be a thing. I think Janet will dial it back and really try to show the fun side of Janet. Because we do know that she's calculated at the end of the day. And if that's not coming out in the first or the second season, she's going to try to in the third. And maybe Jason may be more vocal because we saw it at the reunion.
Jason gets emotional. Like he gets quiet emotional where he's like, you're a clown, Danny, you're a clown. Like he gets very emotional. I'm very curious what Danny plays a role in all of this because at this point, if I was Danny, I would never drink on camera again. I wouldn't give him that ammunition because that seems to be something that they were all concerned with, especially at the reunion. But yeah, Janet, I don't know. I don't know how, and you've been on reality television. I don't know how the thought process doesn't eat you alive. Because if you're Janet, you don't want to try too hard to be fun because the audience will pick up on that. But you don't want to lean too far into villain. Unless she's getting bad advice from like Lala and production. So I don't know how you play it if you're Janet.
I mean, if Janet is anything like she was at the reunion, she's going to be quiet. She's going to be quiet. And it will, but for how long? It'll be interesting to see where things go. And especially too, because Kristen and Nia are now going to be moms, a new mom for Kristen, a mom for the 4th time for Nia. And so I wonder how that will shift too. I don't know. It'll be fun.
I'm very curious. Also, there's an important discussion to probably be had about postpartum.
Right.
That I think will be very interesting. And I think Kristen even talked about that somewhere. But, Kristen being in her full mother era will be, I expect her to float at some point, she's just going to be coming in ethereal. It'll be very interesting because also, will Dodie be able to keep up the fan support? Because she's still going to be Dodie. And will she ever go too hard where she loses the adulation of the audience?
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. And that's what makes it so exciting. So to go back to one of the first things that you said when you're like, there was the big complaints about how dark the season was. I think that there's the beauty of the Valley is these people are living their real lives. Take note, OC. And there's so much going on that we can move past that and really focus on other storylines to where I absolutely believe season 3 will not be it just can't be.
Well, they didn't count on that Jax storyline. They didn't count on Jax being, going into a mental health /treatment /KFC Taco Bell facility. They didn't count on that. So they had to kind of really, I think, change directions in how that season was going to be handled. So now you have that weight lifted. But even to your point, is Jax going to still be texting? Are we still going to refer to him? Are we still, because that will still be, I would imagine, a major part of Brittany's storyline is co-parenting with somebody not on the show on top of, we know she just went to Cabo with her new boyfriend. So will he be on the show? Will we see a Brittany in love? I'm curious about that, but the show has never been fun. So if they all of a sudden go, we're the fun show, that will be so awkward.
Yeah, no. We're not expecting that. But please believe we will be on a mic very soon talking about how our disdain for that. Okay?
And by the way, and I just wanted to shout out to Alex Baskin and 32 Flavors. We are not giving you permission to use any of the things that we just talked about on an episode. This cannot be a storyline.
No, not without payment. Not without payment.
I'm not even want paid. I don't want to be on it.
Before we jump into the news of the week, I have to ask you, BravoCon is coming up. If you had a dream BravoCon panel to host, what would it be?
Listen, give me the worst panel. I will make gold out of the worst panel. Honestly, Rachel, one of my vision board goals is to one day host some kind of panel at BravoCon, but my dream panel would be a throwback to an original OC cast, original RHONJ cast, or the first season of Vanderpump Rules to celebrate the reboot of Vanderpump Rules. And I don't just mean cast members, but I want production. You get Alex Baskin, who's been there since day one, producer Jeremiah, you get the editors, and I would love to take people into that first season of some of your favorite Bravo shows, just to remind people of how different it is. So that would be the dream, just to our point earlier, just about celebrating those earlier seasons and really show the breadth of the history that happened.
I think you should do that because, first off, you should pitch this with yourself as the host to do this because it goes along with our idea of making up Bravo fans go back and do their homework and falling in love with everything that got us here to this day. But I think that you should pitch that because even though they'll do panels that are like legend panels, it's of across the board. If it's just focused on the past and like integrating the future, past, present, future of a franchise or a show, whatever it may be, I think that that's amazing. You should pitch that. Again, you guys don't steal this. And if you do, it is Ryan Bailey hosting it for sure. Or
you guys pitch it for me. Andy, if you're listening, anybody higher up is at Bravo, NBC Universal, let's do this.
And if I see it and it's not you, I am going to be the first one running up to the microphone being, excuse me, back on September 8th, 2025, on Morally Corrupt, we did, please believe.
Yeah, Rachel was like, I was a little feverish, so I think that's what he said. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he said that.
Pretty sure he said it. Okay, that's great. I'm manifesting that for you. I'm going to hold on to September 7th was a big day to manifest. Blood moon. That energy is still among us right now. It's still here. So we're manifesting.
Okay, good.
Very powerful energy right now. Okay, Bravo News of the Week. Got a lot to cover. Well, we call them quick hitters on Higher Learning. We'll try to do that here. But the biggest news to me is that Karen Huger is free.
God bless.
She served 6 months. I don't know why I thought she served longer than that. But she served, I guess because she was convicted last fall, but the sentencing wasn't until earlier this year. So she served 6 months of her prison time for that 2024 DUI arrest. She was released just last week. There were alleged, I don't know if this is confirmed, alleged Bravo cameras that were there filming her waving from the car. It was reported that her first stop was hair and makeup. We see the video of her looking absolutely fabulous, snatched from head to toe, looking like she hasn't missed a day off social media, from the public, from Bravo, all of that. According to TMZ, though, she will not be allowed to operate a vehicle for another year. I totally see Karen Huger being driven around in like a Rolls Royce or something. Like she's going to up it up. She's going to make it like, if she can't drive, fine. I will have a driver and it'll be absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, like a reboot of Driving Miss Daisy, but with Karen Huger. And we should have Shannon Bedore being the chauffeur.
I love the idea of Shannon Bedore because I'm not the biggest fan that is well documented on this podcast. So please, let her pay her dues.
Well, yeah, it'll be give good advice, say the rules of the road, like commiserate with each other. But to your point, they did you saw that car decked out with cameras on the inside. The only thing is, and this is when the audience, like myself, get into self-producing, where I was like, God, it would have been so amazing if Giselle picked her up. if Giselle was the one waiting for her. Or do you remember when Bobby Brown got released from prison? And Whitney Houston was like, Bobby Brown! And like hopped on him. And like, I wanted Ray out there. I wanted a Karen Huger running up to Ray. Or Ray running up to Karen. I wanted some emotional moment. And Andy Cohen, I think, was on... did like a walk and talk on Page 6 outside, and he said he will be speaking with Karen Huger imminently, whatever that means. So I'm wondering if that's a sit-down interview like he had with Countess Luann after her stint, or if they are just going to be talking at the reunion, because I'm imagining in the final episode of this season of Potomac, we'll see the release of Karen.
Okay. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Come on. Yes, you're absolutely right. I don't want him to do a sit-down, an intimate sit-down. I would rather... her join the reunion at the end, like come on at the end of the reunion, and we ask questions and we actually get her opinion from last season too, since we didn't. That's what I would rather have. But I don't know why that didn't even connect to me. That of course, yes, they're filming right now.
You know what's refreshing though about this is that with is that I think it felt longer with Karen because there were no leaks. She wasn't doing any prison interviews. You didn't get paparazzi shots in the prison yard. You get them like weekly with Jen Shah.
Right.
Like Jen Shah, I feel like I know exactly what's happening in prison. Her people will release some sort of press release every couple of months. So I'm well aware. But with Karen, we didn't, if I'm not mistaken, we didn't get any kind of prison shots or her without her hair and her glam. We didn't get any of that. So I think that really, there was a natural curiosity where I remember a couple of months ago, I was like, God, I forgot that Karen Huger is in prison right now. And so that I think really made me miss her. And it was refreshing for somebody to not try to use everything in their power to publicize their time there.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I do want to say, like, as excited as I was that Karen is free, I do want to acknowledge that the seriousness of what it was that she was convicted on, and also the seriousness of for her own health. Like, as I know Karen prioritized, getting the glam and all of that and looking good for the cameras, but I hope that during that 6 months that there was a lot of self-reflection. I hope that she's in therapy. I hope that she is getting some sort of rehab. I hope that she commits to not drinking and really prioritizes her health as well. Because
100%.
If we're not going to get that with her, then I don't want her to come back. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want 100%. It to make it seem like we are congratulating this behavior because, with Shannon, she seems, and I believe, remorseful for all the things that happened. She seemed to limit her drinking. But in this trailer, mid-season trailer that we got, they're questioning her drinking again.
But, I will say, in terms of, I get very frustrated with that storyline because usually the person that brings that storyline to the forefront is Tamra. She practices witchcraft. I mean, I've never seen somebody so talented at playing the game, but you then have to admit that it's a game. Housewives has turned into the Traitors/Survivor. And Tamra, somebody that left the season and admits she was drunk and on Xanax, then has the power still to point in a direction toward Shannon. And I think that's really fascinating. And everybody just goes, okay, Tamra, listen, even if she's not your favorite, even if you think she is a villain, you have to admire the tenacity she has to be able to misdirect, to able to kind of focus on how what the waves in the oceans are doing and go down that path. I mean, she's like Team Katie all of a sudden. Like she's liking Katie Janela's post. She really thinks it out, in my opinion, like a game. But I feel like sometimes it's unfair for Shannon. After the ass kicking Shannon got last season in terms of having an ex come on there, and having to deal with the embarrassment, and I truly do feel she was embarrassed, to even survive that season, I'm okay with giving Shannon a pass and just letting her have a couple glasses of wine in the background if she's not driving.
But it's
always Tamra that's bringing it up.
Yeah, with the brilliance, I don't know, it's not brilliance, it's the witchcraft, to use your word. I don't understand how Tamra, it's literally the same thing. And Shannon pointed it out a couple of episodes ago. She goes, I've seen this before. Yeah. I too have held hands and skipped with Tamra, and we made up and all of that. Or when she's like, when Tamra runs out that night in New Orleans at the dinner, and she's like,
"You'll never see my face again."
Yeah. And they go to the flashback, which I love. I love that flashback. It's like, I've seen this before. And we all have, even as viewers, we know this. If she's yelling at Shannon this season, next season she's going to want to apologize and make up. Can we just forget about it? We're seeing it right now with Katie, as you're saying. She's liking her posts, all the things. So it's like, this is what Tamra does, and yet somehow people forget.
Yeah. I've never seen it be done so successfully as Tamra on OC, where you have this history of behavior. We're always talking like about pattern recognition in life. And this is pattern recognition that nobody seems to recognize. Tamra's the only one that's able to put these things together and use them to her benefit.
Yeah.
But I just wonder how long you can go with doing, and this is why, even though I don't agree with Gretchen in the outside world, I do appreciate her as a foil for Tamra, because she's somebody that is pointing out this behavior on top of Shannon, but Gretchen's doing it loudly and vocally, but also Gretchen's a friend of. And now all of a sudden the story's on Gretchen, so she's like almost full time. So she's playing the game now, this meta game of keeping her job of like, okay, I will make up with you, Tamra. Now, if Shannon in that scene said, I want to make up with you too, Tamra would like probably drop any sort of alcoholic storyline.
For sure. I think what also saves Tamra is she's fun.
Yeah.
And people want to be around her. Like that she's fun to hang out with.
Yep.
And I think Shannon's trying to figure out the boundary of it all. Like, how do I have fun with her, but I don't let her in and get too close? Because I don't want to say it's that people are afraid of her. I think they just like, she's a fun hang. And that's why they want to be around her.
She's made for what Housewives has become, whereas Shannon, a lot of people are just like, well, Shannon gets into fights with the crew, blah, 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 blah. But I think Shannon, what I find interesting is that I feel like this is a real person. Like this is like she is an active PTSD from Real Housewives of Orange County. She probably needs the money, but active PTSD. And you see this person that is like, this is really affected them. So they're going into scenes thinking this is real life. Tamra, to me, it's always not staged and plotted, but she really keeps her head about her and knows. And that's why the Xanax wine thing was like a really bit of a misfire, that the OC ladies are so weak that she was able to like come back and nobody questioned her because we moved on to Katie. But Shannon, you really feel she is tortured. And I think that's interesting because she can't put on a smile. She can't play nice. And I think that is more fascinating to watch somebody be really eaten away by this show.
No. I completely agree with you too. And I think Shannon's been, that's why I think and this is the last thing I'll say because I don't have to move on, but I think Shannon has been kind of quiet this first half. And it seems like that things take a turn next season. And I've been okay with that because, to your point, she went through so much. Like, I probably would have been like, I'm not subjecting myself to this again. This person with my ex, now they're engaged, all this stuff. I would have just said, you know what? I'm going to walk away. None of this is worth it. But she stuck by it. She's still here. She's quiet now. And like I said about, who was I saying? They can only be quiet for too long. I feel like that's about what's about to happen to Shannon as we step into this next episode and
well, you have
finish
a
out the
full
rest of the
cast,
season.
like Gina and Emily, step it up. Like, like let Shannon be, I mean, if you're talking about this in terms of sports teams, like, pass somebody else the ball. It doesn't always have to be on Shannon if you have a full roster, including Gretchen Rossi at this point.
Right. Completely agree. Some news this week that shocked me, that I was surprised about, is that allegedly New Jersey has started test filming. They're doing something.
I heard this, yeah.
I saw this. See, I can't even think of her name. What is her name? The
Teresa,
blonde.
Melissa, Margaret Josephs, Danielle Cabral.
Danielle. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. First and last names, Ryan Bailey. This is what happens when you podcast every day. Okay. You are on it. You are on it. This is why you guys should check out So Bad. It's so good. So bad it's good. Every day he's on top of it. Okay, Danielle. I saw her doing an interview and she confirmed that they were filming. But we don't know, or that there was something going on. Maybe she didn't confirm, but she was just like, did you see this interview?
I did. I think I don't know if was it at the VMAs? I mean,
I thought it was at the VMAs, but you couldn't see the background.
Yeah.
It was just kind of black behind her, but I think it was the VMAs.
I thought it might be the VMAs, but supposedly they're testing out new cast members. The real question is the Teresa of it all. And I talked about this on my show on Monday, was that I saw this on Bravo and Cocktails, the Instagram account, talking about like, oh, wouldn't it be crazy if all of a sudden Teresa moves over to Real Housewives of Miami? And I started thinking about that because Louis and Teresa always seem to be in Miami. They're doing
really?
covers on like Miami magazines, and she's really good friends with Alexia. And the other thing is, I noticed, and nobody really made a big fuss about this, is that TV Deets made a post like months and months ago saying Real Housewives of Miami was already picked up for next season. And I only seen this in one place, so if this is incorrect, I'm sorry. But I was like, that's so weird that they already got a season pickup when like Next Gen or even the Valley announcement never happened, but they did. They've had like kind of not dismal ratings, but lower ratings on day and date. So I thought maybe the streaming numbers are insane. So why would you already get an automatic pickup? And I was like, well, if you did move Teresa over to Miami, that would actually give an automatic pickup, and that would give Teresa something so that the Jersey ladies could forge the reboot or not forge the Jersey on without Teresa stans completely annihilating that show. So I thought that was an interesting conspiracy theory.
It is interesting. I would hate it. I just think there's already so much chaos in Miami, and it works. Love the show. I think the addition of Stephanie's great. Adding a Teresa, I call Alexia the Teresa of Miami. So you can't have both of them there. Like, I don't want it.
No, I get that exactly, but I do want, it's one of those things. It's like, I can yell until I'm blue in the face for people to watch this show, but I sometimes feel like they're still not watching Real Housewives of Miami. So we need to do something. Like I'm a part of it, but there needs to be something, some big explosive thing. I don't know if it's Sandoval. I don't know if it's what, but there needs to be some explosive thing to go, listen, we have 6+ seasons of amazingness. Even jumping back from the beginning years and years ago, Real Housewives of Miami is a solid franchise, and it is so much more enjoyable to watch for me than Orange County right now. There is real relationships, and to your point, it would be a little bit of stunt casting, but I want that show to thrive and survive.
Yeah, no. I do too. I just get weird about jumping over to different franchises. Like, I just feel like we're going the wrong way. But yeah. I agree with you. The big question is, it's being reported that it's without Teresa. So what does that mean? What does that mean for Teresa?
Well, they'll give her a spinoff. She's going to BravoCon, which I think a lot of this will be announced at BravoCon. So I was hearing spinoff, but the Miami rumor kind of was very interesting to me. If you think about, like, you've got to figure out the Teresa of it all, because even if you like her or don't, like, she's a legend. Yeah,
she's a legend. I don't want just a show with Teresa and her family. I'm just not into that. But I really thought that they were going to start all over and build around Teresa. So it's actually shocking, kind of the information that's coming out. But what is being reported, an insider told Us Weekly, is that the potential new cast members who filmed, it was Margaret Joseph, Dolores Catania, and Melissa Gorga. So interesting that those were the ones. Apparently, though, Teresa, Jackie, and Jen Fessler are still in consideration to be a part of the new season. So no mention of Rachel, no mention of Danielle, but the way Danielle was talking on the carpet, she sounds like she's a part of it. She's like, oh, you guys might hear something faster than you think.
But you might know this more than I ever would, but I don't walk a lot of red carpets. But is there a tendency to lie, to be like, oh my God, such amazing things are happening right now in my career, and almost fibbing your way into a role? If that makes sense, of like, oh my God, it's going to be so exciting. And so then people are talking about it like you're there. Like sometimes I feel like the Bravo celebrities, especially on an off season, it's all about campaigning to get on the next season. Or you'll see a lot of past cast members hanging out with new cast members to be like, Alex Baskin, I'm still here. I'm over here.
You're absolutely right. I think that there's an exaggeration for any type of personality, because everybody asks you, so what's next? What are you doing? You feel the pressure to say something. But the way she said it made me feel like she's involved, even if it's a friend of or whatever, because I feel like she could have been like, I talked to the ladies and not sure yet, but I'm hearing, the way she said it, it was like, you might see something new. Like she knows because she's a part of the newness of it. So I don't know. And because she was invited to be there, made me feel like, okay, maybe she is still in the mix. Rachel wasn't there. So I just felt like, okay, Danielle to me is somebody who should come back. I am a fan. I am with it. I can see how Rachel doesn't come back. I am a fan of Danielle coming back.
I am a fan of Danielle coming back, and I thought there's such interesting things to talk about even with Danielle and her brother, because I was like, there seemed to be an interesting thing with him that we didn't really get to mine or even meet him. So you see with the family, there's things going on there, and you're like, oh, it's a shame that she's in this version of Jersey, because if she was in an earlier version of Jersey, I think she would have thrived.
Yeah. No. Oh, yes. Danielle is, to me, she's it. She's it. I've always liked her from day one. I didn't like how she got duped. That's when I was like, oh, she just wants to be so accepted by the quote unquote cool girls. She believed anything that they were telling her in her first season. But I do like Danielle. Okay. Couple of other things to hit. As my voice, I am dying. Couple of other things. Tom Sandoval was on America's Got Talent. And a lot of people, we saw it teased months ago that he was going to be on. So I thought it had already happened because I don't watch the show regularly. So I was surprised that this is just now all coming about. He and his band popped up for a surprise audition. They advanced, which is wild. I do think from when I saw his first performance was better than the subsequent performances. And if you guys don't know, Tom Sandoval is a cover band.
Yeah, Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras,
Yeah, and Most Extras. Wait, for 2 seconds, I thought you made up that name. And I'm like, no, that is actually the name.
No, that's it.
That is the name. So then he comes back to do Blinding Lights by the weekend. He plays the trumpet. They didn't advance. Surprise, surprise. I mean, he exits. He says he's working on voice lessons. He doesn't want to give up on his music career. Your thoughts? I mean, I will say, I don't want to keep jumping on Tom Sandoval, but we understand Ariana getting all of the attention that she got post the scandal of it all. But I am shocked at the amount of reality TV and competition shows that Tom Sandoval has been able to do post.
Well, and by the way, he's on the new season of House of Villains that's going to be coming out in a bit.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's one of the villains on House of Villains. So, it's they go into this kind of cycle of all the shows, whether it be Dancing with the Stars, like you go into this like feeder system of reality shows that you can do. And America's Got Talent, remember, is an NBC Universal property. NBC Universal owns Bravo. These things, I can't say that for 100% certainty, but I would imagine, there's a friendly relationship. And so the first time I watched the performance, and it was fun, and you kind of felt good for him and his band. The second performance, he just doesn't have, like, why pick a song that's not in your range? It's too high.
I thought they picked that song for him. I thought surely he did not pick Blinding Lights.
He has a musical director. Why do you not? I just like. It's you have like a 12-piece band, including a horn section. Set yourself up for success. Do not do a song where you cannot hit most of the notes in the song.
Delusion is a drug, and a lot of people suffer from it. He clearly is delusional, and we've seen it in multiple ways throughout the seasons on Vanderpump Rules, and he's still drinking the delusion Kool-Aid, and, at this point, this man can't be stopped. I mean, he keeps getting to be on shows. And as you just informed me, now he's going to do House of Villain. Like, I don't agree with him, but I almost, how could you not feel yourself a little bit when you continue to get attention and it's reaffirmed by you getting on another show and another show and another show? So sadly, we're not done with Tom Sandoval. We're not done. If he really wants to go focus on his music career, he should just go do that.
This is breaking news. I just got a text saying that my information about Scheana is wrong.
Oh.
That she will be on more. So
okay.
I don't know, you guys. I just want to put out that information.
Okay.
I don't
love the breaking news.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
No. I mean, we were always speculating anyway, right? Like, confirm. I don't have the insights like Ryan does.
But also, my thing is, no, you do, you definitely. But my thing is, even if Scheana would work hard enough to make sure she was there in every episode.
Yeah, well, she
said my point.
She filmed a lot for the Valley that wasn't shown. So, I said to her, I don't want you on the show. I'm going to be honest. Convince me why you should be. And she said, well, if I'm on the show, it's because I'm wanted. And I said, you know what? I have nothing to say to that. So I can see the popularity of her book might be enough for production to move past it. And, maybe the second book won't be as detailed, but I can understand why Scheana would be a part of the show. And we kind of have to tap into the Brock of it all. The Brock, the cheating, the friends calling her out, them like you can't.
Yes, because even then it gives something for Lala to do. Janet has a strong relationship with Scheana that predates any of of the Valley. So there are things to mine there. I'm just curious as a producer how you go about that.
Yeah, I think I like that we don't know. We've seen it come out that Lala was filming. So we know she's filming. I mean, she filmed last time. We just don't know how much. We know Sheena's going to be a part of it. We just don't know how much. And I think all of that talk makes it really exciting. We know who's not going to be on it, and that is Tom Sandoval.
Yes.
But yes.
I could see him going next season, though. I could see it being a feeder system for all of those people at some point.
For sure. A couple of quick hitters, if you have, or other quick headlines, I should say, if you have any thoughts about them. Alexia, is it Umansky? Is that
Umansky. I think it's Umansky, but I could be wrong. Umansky.
She got married. I feel like they've been engaged forever. I don't know why time is passing by so slowly, but she's getting engaged. Some pictures have come out. She seemed really happy. Alexia's so sweet. I've met her before. I've met her guy very briefly. They've known each other forever. Families seem to be close. I love this for her. She seems happy. I was thinking about this. I was like, man, she's the first one of the Richard girls to get married. I know we saw Farrah get engaged on, I almost called it Selling Sunset, Buying Beverly Hills. But we know that relationship is no more, even though we have no details on it. But I was like, wow, Alexia is the first.
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious. I hope, listen, as a viewer of Beverly Hills, I would love to see this wedding on camera, but I hope at the same time as a family that it's not. I hope they're able to share this. But you did see a lot of, photos. You saw 4 of the Fox Force 5 in a photo together with Lisa, Erica Jane, Teddy Mellencamp, and Kyle. But you did not see Dorit in that photo. And was Dorit not invited?
No, I don't think that they are friends at all.
I mean, even as a friend of Mauricio, come on, Dorit was not
messy. But was PK there? Was PK?
Hello, I'm here. Me, PK.
Oh, if PK is there, they're not filming right now.
No, I heard last week was their last week. I could be wrong, but I mean, who knows? But I heard they were wrapping up.
Because that would be a storyline if PK is invited and Dorit's not, and she makes a deal of it. Interesting.
It'd be great if PK is the officiant.
He's the officiant. He brings a date. We love all of it.
Does catering.
Love all of it. Other news, Boz is engaged. We saw her in her relationship with Keely last season on Beverly Hills. They seem super solid. We know that they were trying for a baby. Hadn't they not said I love you or something crazy like that?
No, in fact, that was a big thing. And then at the postscript that they put up for the Housewives, they even talked about it. But I thought they were setting us up for that scene where Keely would say that they would say they love each other on camera, because I felt like they were teasing that. They got engaged at Boa Steakhouse. Now, this is for cameras. We will see this on Beverly Hills. So it was at Boa, which I'm like, if you're at Boa, do they shut the whole steakhouse down? Or is there people just going I'm trying to eat a steak and there's an engagement happening?
I wonder if there's
camera?
a private room. There's got to be a private room at Boa. Interesting. I hadn't heard people mention Boa in a really long time. So good PR for Boa. Yeah, they look happy. They look great. Keely looks to have a new hairline. Did you notice that?
I did. No, I didn't notice that. I hope that's a storyline is going to Turkey to work on his hairline.
Looks good because my sister and I we have a sister chat. We talk Bravo, all things, and she's like, he looks different. I was like, he got a new hairline. I'm pretty positive now. That has not been confirmed, but from my eyes, it looks to be a new hairline. They look great. They look happy. I love this. I love this for her. Her post. I think it was her post that was so inspiring. Just me as a single woman. In my 40s, I have a lot of women who are similarly situated. A lot of people will tell you this is it. You've missed your time. You feel like you're not going to find love. It's so hard. And she said, this is a beautiful, inspirational story. And her post kind of reflected that. You can have these things. Don't let people tell you otherwise. So I love that. Love that to see that. Still love seeing people find love.
Just remember, too, is that she is filmed a reality competition series with Jimmy Fallon that's going to be on NBC called, I think it's called On Brand, about creators and advertising. So Boz is really coming up in this whole universe, and to co-host a show with Jimmy Fallon is a huge opportunity. So I'm really curious what her storylines and how safe she plays it this second season. Yeah.
Boz is doing it right. This is how you come on reality TV. This is who Anna Marie thought she was going to be when she came on TV. And Boz is actually doing it. Last quick hitter, Megan. What was Megan's last name? I guess it was Edmonds. Megan Edmonds.
Oh, Megan King Edmonds, yeah. The detective.
Megan King Edmonds. We do miss that. Her ex-husband, Jim Edmonds' wife, called the police on Megan for allegedly barging into their home. And of course, this got people, I mean, we haven't really heard a lot from Megan King Edmonds in a long time. We know that whole situation was messy with the breakup with Jim and all of that. And we know Jim's was an ass. We saw it on the show. But it's putting her back in the news. People are talking and people are saying, some people were commenting on the Page Six post that she should be brought back for season 20. Vicky, who I want to come back, responded, no. Would you want to see Megan King Edmonds back on The Real Housewives of OC?
Just because Vicky said no, I think now it's got to happen. When you actually make your feelings known like that, I feel like that for a producer, you're like, well, we got to do it then because it's automatic conflict. And remember, they're entering the 20th season. That's a legendary season. They're not going to start from scratch. I have a feeling you are going to see a lot more people brought back, and I think Vicky will be one of those. Megan King Edmonds, I mean, I don't know how that would make sense, but she is a legend for a specific time in OC history. And like, what mysteries could Megan King Edmonds help solve right now? Like, by the way, Megan King Edmonds needs to come and let us know about Katie Janela. What's going on here? I was just about to say, had we had a Megan King Edmonds, we would not be confused. She would have a whiteboard out and the whole thing would be set up and make sense. Makes sense. Yeah. Yes. We do need her. Walk me through this. And, you know, I mean, that's the thing. At the end of all these seasons, I just want somebody to tell me who's right and who's wrong. And Megan King Edmonds, if you can do that, I want you back.
We would. I say bring them all back. I want Vicky Gunvalson back so bad.
100%.
So bad. So bring Megan back too. I can't remember in what way she left us. Bring her back so she can remind me.
And we'll remember Megan King Edmonds. She was one of the first housewives, I think, to have a candle line. Remember her and Jim Edmonds, her ex, who we just talked about, had a candle line. And I was like, I think that predates Karen Huger's, the three-wick candle. I mean, so that's legendary in itself.
Yep. And this is why, to bring it full circle as we close out this podcast, this is why we need to do our homework and go back and start over and watch so we can know things like this. So when Megan King Edmonds makes Page Six, we know exactly how to respond and why she needs to come back. Exactly why. Ryan, you've been my savior.
Sorry for
No,
sorry, I'm just giggling. I have a case of the giggles now.
No. Ryan, thank you so much for being a part of Morally Corrupt. It's long overdue. Perfect episode for you to be a part of. Sorry again that I'm sick. We couldn't do this in person, but it just means that myself and the audience gets more of you. We would love for you to come back, do it again. You've been my savior today. You've made this fun. I'm going straight to urgent care after this. But for 1 hour, I forgot all about my sickness.
Isn't that what's great about these shows? If you really love them, it can make you forget about your own issues and your own problems. And Rachel, you know how much I respect you. And I do. I don't listen to a lot of Housewives podcasts, but I will tune in to Morally Corrupt from time to time. I try not to do it too much because I don't want to steal things.
Same.
But you guys, you have such a great thing going. And to the audience, hopefully be nice. Don't roast me in the comments, but I just really love being here. And sorry if I overtalk, but I was trying to help Rachel because her voice hurts, okay?
No, you did not overtalk. It was a great balance. Don't y'all dare come for him. No, they love you. We love having you on. Thank you so much for being here. You guys, that is it for us here on Morally Corrupt. Make sure you join us on Friday where we will be recapping those two shows, OC and Miami. Stay tuned for that. We'll maybe sprinkle in some news if something big happens because Ryan Bailey on his podcast is always breaking some news, just as he did here, just as he gave us a little tidbit here. You guys have a beautiful week. Take care of yourselves. Stay rested up. Don't get sick like me. And we'll see you then on Friday. Bye, guys.